India is a land of Kamasutra, Khajuraho and Osho, but talking about sex is still a big taboo. Especially female sexuality and pleasure, no chance, right? That's exactly the reason my topic for today is From Sex to Superconsciousness, because I think Mrs. India is the perfect platform to talk about such a topic which is mature yet so subtle and delicate. I am Pavitra Vimal and thank you for this opportunity. During the Vedic era, which was about 1000 years back, our ancestors clearly understood the importance of sexual health in one's overall well-being and happiness. They were very open about it and they also had a respectful perspective towards it. There are a lot of examples for it. One, Kama Sutra, was the first elaborate text on the art and philosophy of love and lovemaking. In fact, there are references to sexuality in almost all the Puranas, including the great epics Ramayana and Mahabharata. Khajuraho is a monument which is famous for sexually explicit sculptures and statues all over it. In fact, this monument was built as a symbol of acceptance of different kinds of beliefs and paths that existed during that time. Not only Khajuraho, you will find these kind of statues in almost all the ancient Indian temples in the peripheral area. This signifies two things. One, you have to go beyond sexual desires and pleasures if you have to move deeper into the levels of consciousness. Second, but the very reason these kind of statues are part of the temple signifies that if you have to go beyond them, you cannot be ignorant about it. You have to have the right knowledge and openness towards it. Well, what do I mean by openness? Openness could mean different things for different people, right? But at the core of it, it is about figuring out your own individuality. If we look at Hindu literature, Krishna did Ras Leela with all his gopikas and it is worshipped and celebrated. Almost all the gods, many of our gods, including Lord Shiva, Shanmuga, Vishnu, had multiple wives. Lord Ayyappa from Sabarimala, he is said to be the son of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu when he took the form of Mohini. And at the same time also lived Lord Ram, who had only one wife to whom he was completely devoted to. So there are clear illustrations of singularity, pluralism, brahmacharya, homosexuality, transgenders, conventional and unconventional ways of exploration. But unfortunately, later, when India saw continuous invasions and colonizations, this knowledge got lost. The liberal mindset of Indians were disregarded as backward and inferior. Today, the Western influence is so much that almost all the terms associated with sexuality is actually used to abuse others, and naturally there is so much of shame and guilt associated with it. And today's situation is 1 in 4 women have reported to have experienced sexual abuse in their life in one form or another. About 40% of depression and anxiety have sexual reasons or sexual impact. About 70% of women have not experienced orgasm during sex. And about 25% of women have never experienced orgasm in their life at all. These are serious problems and they have to be addressed. Now, if we look at the Vedic sciences, there are 7 chakras in our body or energy centers. Okay? So the first 2 chakras, which are situated at the lowermost part of our spinal cord, called Mooladhara and Swadhisthana, these 2 chakras are associated with sexual energy and desire. Sexual energy is considered to be immensely powerful and healing. There are several techniques in yoga and tantra to use this sexual energy to heal various physical illnesses and mental illnesses. Building up the sexual energy and channeling them towards the higher chakras can lead us to experience higher states of existence and bliss. This process is called sexual transmutation. But remember, we live in a sexually wounded society. So before we can explore the higher possibilities, it is important to address trauma related to sex, love, intimacy first. And the first step for that is to not have prejudice and to change perspective from looking at it as a topic of shame to something liberating and empowering. So, the jury and my friends, the purpose of this talk is to create this clarity and awareness so that we can find ourselves back, feel empowered in our own sexuality, share our experiences to help and enrich each other. Thank you. Vanakkam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.